It's a cycle that feels like it will never end, right? You finally pack away the thermometer and the tissues. You breathe a huge sigh of relief as your kid heads back to school, bursting with energy. And then, a few days later, you hear it. That tiny cough from the back seat. A single sneeze at the dinner table. The dreaded, "my throat feels scratchy." And your heart just sinks. Not again. You start to wonder if you're just fighting a losing battle against an invisible army of germs. Is this even normal? Are you doing something wrong? The constant juggling of sick days, missed school, and sleepless nights is exhausting for you, and just plain miserable for your kid. It's a revolving door of illness that can leave you feeling totally defeated. But what if I told you that you are not powerless in this fight? That there are simple, scientifically proven strategies that can strengthen your child's natural defenses and finally help you break that cycle. Today, we're going to cover 7 of the most effective, research-backed ways to keep your kid from getting sick over and over. These aren't myths or old wives' tales. These are real, actionable steps, grounded in science, that you can start using today. So, let's get into it. It's time to trade that feeling of helplessness for a feeling of empowerment. Method 1. The unskippable foundation, the superpower of sleep. Let's start with the most powerful and most underrated tool in your immune-boosting arsenal, sleep. We tend to think of sleep as just rest. But for your child's immune system, it's a period of intense activity. While your child is sleeping, their body is hard at work promoting the accumulation of immune cells in lymphatic tissues, like their lymph nodes. Think of these as the training grounds where the body's defenders get ready to fight. Proper sleep actually increases the body's ability to encounter and fight off antigens, which are the foreign substances, like viruses, that trigger an immune response. On the flip side, research confirms that sleep deprivation, or even just shorter sleep duration, is associated with reduced immunity. It can even lead to a lower antibody response to vaccinations, meaning your child might not get the full protective benefit from their immunizations if they aren't well rested. So, how much sleep is enough? According to the American Academy of Sleep Medicine, it's probably more than you think. Infants from 4 to 12 months need 12 to 16 hours, including naps. Toddlers from 1 to 2 years old need 11 to 14 hours. Preschoolers aged 3 to 5 should get 10 to 13 hours. And school-aged kids from 6 to 12 still need a solid 9 to 12 hours of sleep each night. If you're looking at those numbers and thinking, my kid is nowhere close to that, you're not alone. But making sleep a priority is one of the most effective changes you can make. Establish a consistent bedtime routine. A warm bath, pajamas, brushing teeth, and reading a book together signals that it's time to wind down. Turn the bedroom into a sleep sanctuary. Cool, dark, and quiet. Blackout curtains and a white noise machine can be game changers. And most importantly, get screens out of the bedroom. The blue light from tablets and TVs is scientifically proven to suppress melatonin, the hormone that tells our brains it's time for sleep. A regular bedtime and wake-up time, even on weekends, regulates your child's internal clock. Remember, sleep isn't just about avoiding a grumpy kid. It's about actively building a stronger, more resilient immune system. Method 2. The hygiene habit, becoming hand-washing heroes. If there is one single action that gives you the most bang for your buck in preventing illness, this is it. It's simple, it's cheap, and the science is undeniable. Proper hand hygiene. Research shows that consistent hand-washing practices can decrease the likelihood of laboratory-confirmed influenza by as much as 54%. That's cutting your child's risk by more than half. Cold and flu viruses are masters of travel. They get onto our hands from a doorknob, a toy, or a sneeze, and from there, it's an easy trip into the body. Hand washing with soap and running water physically lifts and removes these influenza viruses. When soap and water aren't available, an alcohol-based hand sanitizer is the next best thing. To be effective, hand washing needs to be done right and done often. The CDC recommends scrubbing for at least 20 seconds. A fun way to time this is to have them sing Happy Birthday twice. Teach them to get a good lather. Scrub the front and back of their hands, between their fingers, and under their nails. The when is just as important as the how. Make it a house rule to wash hands. Before eating, after using the bathroom, after playing outside, after coughing, sneezing, or blowing their nose, and as soon as they get home from school or daycare. To make it a habit, make it fun. Let them pick out a cool soap dispenser or use a sticker chart. Also, teach your child the superhero cough, into their elbow or a tissue, not their hands. This simple act stops germs at the source, giving that 54% reduction an even bigger boost. Method 3. The vitamin D defense. A resilient immune system is built on a consistent foundation of good nutrition, but specific nutrients have been shown to have a massive impact. Let's look at vitamin D. Research has revealed a stunning connection between vitamin D and preventing illness in young children. One meta-analysis found that daily supplementation of more than 1,000 IU of vitamin D can reduce the odds of influenza and colds by 57% in children under 5. So how does it work? It's not magic, it's science. Vitamin D helps modulate the immune system by inducing the production of antimicrobial peptides. These are the body's own natural antibiotic substances that protect against invasion from germs. This isn't just a minor boost. It's a significant, research-backed layer of defense that you can provide for your child. While sunlight provides some vitamin D, for many, it's not enough, especially in winter. Foods like fatty fish and fortified milk contain vitamin D, but reaching that therapeutic 1,000 IU dose often requires supplementation. As always, talk to your pediatrician before starting any new supplement regimen to make sure it's right for your child. Method 4. The zinc shield. Inhibiting viral replication. Another mineral that stands out in the research for its preventative power is zinc. Studies on prophylactic or preventative zinc supplementation have shown it can substantially reduce the incidence of acute respiratory infections, ARIs, in infants and young children. One randomized controlled trial was particularly eye-opening. It found that intermittent zinc supplementation led to a relative risk reduction of acute respiratory infections by as much as 72% over a 6-month period. Zinc appears to work in two ways. It bolsters our essential immune defenses, and it has been shown to inhibit the replication of respiratory viruses, stopping them from multiplying once they're in the body. While these studies focused on supplementation, ensuring your child has a diet rich in zinc is a great first step. You can find it in foods like beans, nuts, seeds, whole grains, lean red meat, and poultry. Given the powerful preventative effects shown in studies, it's worth a conversation with your pediatrician to see if prophylactic zinc supplementation is a good strategy for your child, especially if they are prone to frequent colds. Method 5. The home environment. Clearing the air with HEPA. For generations, parents have said, "Don't go outside, you'll catch a cold." But modern science shows us that the real risk isn't the cold air outside. It's the stagnant, germ-filled air inside. In a confined space like a home or classroom, virus-filled respiratory droplets hang in the air, making it easy for others to breathe them in. While opening windows can help, research points to a much more powerful tool, a portable HEPA, or high-efficiency particulate air filtration unit. Studies show that portable HEPA units are incredibly effective, capturing over 99.97% of respiratory aerosols, including the tiny ones carrying viruses like influenza. Placing one of these units in your primary living areas, like the living room or your child's bedroom, can clear pathogens from the air 5 times faster than standard ventilation alone. The impact is huge. This can reduce the risk of secondary household transmission, that's one family member getting sick from another, by up to 70%. By continuously scrubbing the air your family breathes, you can turn your home into a fortress that is far less friendly to airborne germs. Method 6. The shield of science. The cocoon of vaccination. In our mission to build a fortress of health, vaccinations are one of the most powerful tools ever invented. A vaccine acts like a training manual for your child's immune system. It introduces a harmless piece of a germ, teaching their immune cells to recognize it and build an army of antibodies to fight it. Then, if your child is exposed to the real germ, their body is ready to launch a rapid, powerful attack. But the strategy doesn't end with just your child's immunizations. Research highlights that children are a primary source of influenza transmission to their family members. This is why experts strongly recommend that all parents, guardians, and household contacts receive their annual flu vaccine. This creates what's known as a protective cocoon around the children in the home. By ensuring the adults are vaccinated, you directly reduce the overall disease burden and the amount of virus circulating within your shared space. This is especially critical for protecting new babies who are too young to be fully vaccinated themselves. Method 7. The strategic advantage. Morning vaccinations. Our final strategy is a simple, fascinating, and actionable tip to maximize the power of that annual flu shot. When you schedule your child's appointment, try to book it in the morning. Believe it or not, emerging evidence suggests that the time of day you get vaccinated can matter. Research indicates that vaccination in the morning may enhance the resulting immune response. Specifically, studies have found that morning administration can lead to higher levels of neutralizing antibodies compared to getting the very same shot in the afternoon. While the reasons are still being studied, it may have to do with the natural daily rhythms of our immune cells. It's a small, easy change to make that costs nothing and could give your child's immune system an extra edge in building the strongest possible defense from their vaccine. It's the perfect example of using science to make a small tweak that could have a big impact on your child's health. We've covered a lot of ground, from sleep to strategic vaccinations. I want to hear from you. Based on this new science, what is one strategy you're going to try in your home? Drop a comment below and share your plan. Your experience could be the game changer that another parent really needs to hear today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next one. Thanks for watching.